Hey everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It's Saturday morning. And I tell you, it's been a rough week for Harry and Meghan. The fallout of their actions are epic as usual, and most of it, of course, it's directly their own fault. I mean, let's go back to Thursday, November 6th. Harry had come to Toronto for events surrounding Remembrance Day and the veterans, right? Now, we had been told that time that he had informed the palace of his visit, but it was kind of last minute, the announcement, because of security issues, and he doesn't get the same security as other working royals. Well, you know what, Harry? Because you're not a working royal. We know this. But yeah, that was that was even a lie. The palace did not know about Harry's trip. They did not sanction it. But Harry's people lied. But I mean, it's important because Canada is a Commonwealth country. King Charles is our king too. And even though he didn't sanction the trip, it wasn't approved by the palace, the way Harry's carrying on, it makes it look. That's why we call them faux royal tours. They might as well be sanctioned by the palace because the effect for the most part in the public is the same. The only difference is they just come off so badly because Harry and Meghan's people, and of course Harry and Meghan themselves, don't know how to behave in public. But yeah, so these kind of royal tours, they're what Harry and Meghan count on for their global recognition. They think they're global leaders. So it's come out that when Harry visited on Veterans November 6th at Toronto's Sunnybrook Hospital, all was not what it seems. A few days prior to Harry's visit, patients and their families received an email stating absolutely no visitors, friends, or family were to be present on the ward while Harry was visiting the veterans. The photos, the visit, the whole thing was staged. Just another, photo op, just like everything else they do. And I mean, while we're on the subject of photo ops, the whole Kardashian thing, what seems to be the story is that Meghan had given the go-ahead to post the pictures like there was nothing, but Harry had assumed that they would stay private. So that when the pictures showed up on the Kardashians' Instagram, Harry lost his mind and Meghan played like she had no idea, gaslighting Harry. And we know, nothing new here. We know that she treats him badly, and the pictures were atrocious anyway. I mean, Meghan looks frumpy. And when everybody else is in a party dress, right? She's in this black, horrible, and she came from another event. Well, that's just a society faux pas. You change your clothes between events, especially if you're a duchess, So the whole thing was not a good look for either one of them. Harry looks just wasted in one of the pictures. It's just atrocious. But it doesn't end there. Meghan never stops scheming. Here's a really good example now. Like for the 5th year in a row, Princess Catherine will be holding her carol service at Westminster Abbey Friday, December 5th. So of course this week Meghan announces her Netflix holiday special will air on December 3rd. I got one hair that's driving me nuts. I think I got it. You know, her holiday special. A fake show with fake friends, crappy wines and flower sprinkles on everything, filmed in somebody else's house. And Meghan thinks that she can compete with the carol service at Westminster Abbey? This is part of Meghan's madness. She's crazy. The woman's an empty husk, and she can only emulate what she sees. She can only imitate, whether it's Victoria Beckham, Princess Diana, Catherine. She's just consumed by the optics. That's all she understands. If I look like that, I'm that. That's what she thinks. That's why she always gets it wrong. And I mean, here's the newest. It's been reported in GB News and other news in Britain that William and Catherine have been invited to Australia for a royal visit, either 2026 or perhaps early 2027. It's just starting to kind of be mentioned in the press now. So, of course, this week, and I was trying to find the exact quote, can't remember. I'll find it, in a week. But anyway, so of course, yeah, this week, so Harry, in one interview or another, he casually mentioned that, gee, he and Meghan are looking forward to visiting Australia again soon. We know they covet these faux royal tours. They always look bad. They always embarrass themselves with their behavior. They undermine the royal family with their behavior, especially when they go to Commonwealth countries. And I mean, up to now, the palace hasn't really intervened to stop these tours. With the dismantling of the Yorks underway right now, Harry and Meghan should be really, really worried. Dealing with Andrew and Sarah is proving a bit tricky right now, especially with Charles still around, but just wait a little while. Once he's gone, soon, and William sets to sorting it all out, and when he gets around to Meghan and Harry, watch out. Yeah, their time is short. They're scrambling. Can you imagine an Australian tour? I can't imagine who they would find to sponsor such a thing, especially now when the Australian government has offered a visit to the royal family, to Catherine and William, and bring the kids along too. So, Meghan and Harry, well, here's the thing about it, and this is why we know that there's an overlying plot kind of managing the whole madness, because nothing about them makes sense. They want their own court, they want royal tours, they want their titles, but they don't want to have anything to do with the royal family, but they'll drink tea and sell biscuits and, everything that, because the association with the royal family is all they've got, and they know it. Both of them are talentless bores that nobody wants to have anything to do with. They rode high on a wave of novelty for the first couple of years. Everybody wanted a piece of Harry and Meghan, and everybody wanted to hear what they had to say, and people threw millions of dollars at them. Well, that's all dried up. That's all dried up. This Christmas special is indeed the last association with Harry and Meghan that Netflix is going to have. They're done. There is no renewal. There is no third season of whatever. They're done. So they know, and this is this is what has kind of been driving their actions for the last little while. They know that even as badly as they have undermined the royal family, that's their last hope, is to keep that thread of association. And at the very least, that means the titles, right? William's not gonna. This Andrew thing, oh my God. I don't see this ending well. I see a surprise twist that nobody expects, but those of us that have a foil hat tucked away, we expect. This. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Let's just put it that way. In my opinion, if I'm right, and though I may not be ready to tell you exactly what I think now, you might surmise it. It's not like that hasn't happened before, especially when you look at people around Epstein and the Clintons, and people. Things have a way of just kind of sorting themselves out, so nobody has a chance to really say anything. Could happen. You know, and the Yorks, everybody, has been talking about their delicate states of mind at the minute. It's a big blow to everybody. Poor Andrew, being demoted from a 30-room mansion to perhaps a 10-room mansion, still gets his shooting privileges and support and everything. He doesn't have his titles, and he can't call himself Knight of the Garter. Big deal. But you know what I found out? Here's the thing. The Duke of York, they say, oh yeah, we've stripped him of the Duke of York. Actually, because it's, I don't know, a temporal title given by the Queen or something. Now they're saying technically they can't remove it. I think it was Rafe Heidelmann-Koo that explained it. Can't really remove it, but he can't use it. And that way, and so the girls remain princesses of York, right? He just can't. It's just a technical. He just can't use it, but he's not technically stripped of it because apparently, these royals are so bloody important. Once given, you can't take away. Yeah, but I mean, for him, this is a huge downgrade and just a humiliation beyond, well, a humiliation beyond anything he ever did to any one of those girls that he always seemed to be hiring on all his overseas trips. I mean, one embassy official was told when Andrew was going to be doing a trip, right? Was told, oh, he likes blondes. And the embassy guy said, well, I'm not a pimp. But apparently this went all over the place. One trip to Thailand, paid for by the taxpayer because it was a government funded, he was acting as a ambassador for the British government, or trade ambassador. One 4-day trip to Thailand. 40 women of ill repute were paid to do. And that was paid by the taxpayer. That's one of Andrew Lowney's stories. It's well known. The Queen knew what was going on and covered it up, because her officials would go to her and tell her nothing was done. When it was all handed to Charles, nothing was done. So here we are. And I mean, it's gotten ridiculous because we're in a position now where they're arguing about how many millions he should get, which mansion he should be in, how many shooting weekends a year he can have. They're negotiating his life, his level of lifestyle. That's all that's in the offing. There is a chance now that things have opened up a little bit to scrutiny, and the fact that he's a private person now, which he really isn't, but you know, he kind of is, that the authorities could go after him. We know they've politely requested him to have a little chat with them. He's not going to. As long as he's on one of those royal grounds, he's not going to. But here's the thing. If things get so hot that it's so bad for the king, stuff happens. Stuff happens, and I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it. We've got a lot happening, and it ain't over yet. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I want to know what you think about all of this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, everybody.